Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And we'll get started with some breathing as always. So some nice deep belly breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Make the next one a little longer. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome. Even deeper, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just challenge yourself to get a little deeper each breath. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. So just keep your breath going nice, deeply, easily. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Thank you for the sunshine. So it's already dawn here. We're definitely moving into spring. This is good. This is good. Good morning, good morning. Glad you're all here. So we again have a card from the Earth Magic deck. It just seems to be the deck du jour lately. So thank you for the hearts and the rainbow. Very pretty. Thank you, Carolyn. So everybody's starting to pop in here. So let's just take a moment and I want you to close your eyes and we're going to imagine something. Not if you're driving. Good morning, Jonelle. Welcome. Glad you're here. So just close your eyes. I want you to imagine yourself driving down the road. And you're driving, it's a highway, but it's only one lane each way. And as you're driving off in the distance, you can see mountains. And it's midday. And you decide to pull over because the area where you are at that moment is flat and desert. So just breathing, you're just pulling over. You stop the car, you get out, and I want you to walk out into this desert space. You're not too far off the road, you're just in that space. And I'd like you to pay attention to what you notice. Most of us, as we're driving through desert areas, we don't see much. Now we're going to see, and we're going to hear, and we're going to smell. So just really tuning into what's around you. Maybe you notice some cactus plants, other kinds of little plants clinging tenaciously to rocks, sand blowing around. Maybe there's some little critters. Most of them are probably hiding because it's midday and it's warm, it's hot. Just enjoying the feeling of the sun on your body. Good morning, Janine. We're just doing a little guided imagery, tuning into the desert. The desert. I want you to smell. Can you smell anything? What do you notice? Maybe there's flowers on some of the cactus. Just noticing what it's like to be there. And that sets the tone for our card today, which comes from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen Farmer. And our card is Desert. Desert. Vision Quest. Vision Quest. And here you can see, looks very much like Utah. Probably some spots in Arizona. Let's see what it has to say. Desert. Vision Quest. In this arid climate zone that we call desert, images shift and change throughout the day, yet always maintain a sharp and defined presence. Those hardy species of flora and fauna that have found a home in the desert have adapted over eons to the relative harshness that's a strong characteristic of these lands. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Good morning, good morning. Throughout history, we've passed down many stories of people wandering in the desert. Often they're about religious figures and ascended masters who had journeyed there and returned to their people with remarkable visions. The desert is an ideal place to seek a vision, or, more accurately, to allow a vision to come to you. The quiet and peace of such an environment is conducive to the solitude required to have this type of profound experience. Don't we often talk about that on here, that we need stillness, we need quiet. In the quiet, in the stillness is where the wisdom can emerge. Spending time in this region without the usual accoutrements of the civilized world can present survival challenges, or at least seem to. And this could rightfully be called a spirit quest, where through steadiness in this seemingly bleak environment, it becomes possible to receive direct guidance from spirit internally and in the world around you. So I want to read that last sentence again. And I want you to think about, when was the last time you had this kind of solitude and stillness? And this could rightfully be called a spirit quest, where through steadiness in this seemingly bleak environment, it becomes possible to receive direct guidance from spirit internally and in the world around you. And there's more, and I'll get to that, but one of my thoughts is, how do we unwittingly disrupt those opportunities for that stillness and that seemingly bleak, not filled 24/7 environment? Good morning, Beth. The classic example is with our phones, right? We have them with us all the time. We check them hundreds of times a day. That's what the research shows, that we check them hundreds of times a day. Good morning, Paula. Welcome, welcome. So that little act of carrying your phone with you all the time can be a disruptor for getting these kinds of insights, getting this kind of wisdom, having that vision quest, a spirit quest. So you might want to consider some point today, if you would like to tap this idea of a spirit quest or a vision quest, leave your phone behind. Leave your phone behind. Because even if you turn it off, if it's with you, the tendency is to look at it. The tendency is to look at it. So see if you can set that aside briefly. So here's the next part. A vision quest is a process whereby you spend a few days in the wilderness alone. Typically, you carry only water and some sacred items with you, and you spend most of the time praying or meditating. Many who have completed a vision quest assert that it is a powerful and even life-changing experience and report vivid and profound revelations. It is said that the desert does not lie, so partaking in this can help you discover the truth about your purpose, or at least give you some clues. In the Midwest, we don't have a whole lot of desert going on, but having some quiet time, taking yourself out of your daily routine, putting yourself in an environment that has very little going on is a great way to get the inner stuff moving again. Let's see. So partaking in this can help you discover the truth about your purpose, or at least give you some clues. Good morning, Diane. Glad you're here. It is time for you to go on a vision quest. Designate a place in nature in which to dwell, whether for a couple hours or a few days. Spend the majority of your time there praying and meditating. It is best to be in a location where you can truly find solitude, even if it's just a quiet corner of a park for an afternoon. So that's a possibility, right? Most of us could manage that. Wherever you go, take your question, concern, or challenge with you into prayer and meditation. Allow it to float around you in your consciousness and watch what shows up. And again, notice that wording. Allow it to, there you go to old school camp up. Fabulous. Wherever you go, you can walk in the woods. I mean, there's tons of places to find this kind of solitude. It might be sitting in your car at the park for a couple of hours if it's too cold to be out and about yet. Just remove yourself from stimulation so that you can get quiet, so that you can hear what's going on within. It doesn't get drowned out by the external environment. But this verbiage, allow it to float around in your consciousness and watch what shows up. Again, you're not pursuing in that divine masculine way. You're presenting yourself and seeing what comes to you. You're making that environment. You're choosing an environment that's quiet and still. And then you're waiting, seeing what comes to you, right? Very divine feminine approach. Now he's talking about the card itself. So let me show it to you again, Vision Quest. This is one of the more powerful cards. By drawing it, whatever other messages you may have received are amplified threefold. So if we think about the messages that have been coming over the last couple of days, think about those in terms of ramping them up. Again, it doesn't mean, I guess the word I would put to it is energizing them, really paying attention to them. So what have been our themes, right? Excuse me, got a tickle in my throat. Hang on a second. We've been talking about introspection. We've been talking about the divine feminine. We've had a lot of interesting cards here. We've had breach. I'm trying to think of what were all some of the others. Hang on, let me cheat a bit. We'll find out. Let's see what the last 3 or 4 have been. That's what I'm getting, 3 or 4. So Desert Vision Quest. So that's great. It shows me with my cup in my hand. All right, let's see. Fire, passion, family relationships, from taking the war out of our words. One more. And winter solstice reflection. So the winter solstice reflection dovetails perfectly with Desert Vision Quest, right? Might have to do with family stuff, exploring family dynamics. Might have to do with, and breach must have been a little further back. Maybe that was the next one back. Nope, that was look outside, feel inside. But you can see the themes here, right? So how will you can put it in the feed, how will you get yourself some time? I'm going to have some time today in the car, which will be good, just to not be rushing from one thing to another, but present. What is it that my self wants me to know? That inner voice, what is it trying to tell me? What have I been drowning out by rushing around too much? So be present, be fully present, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I'm challenging us all to take the time to be fully present. So that is our card for today. I'll show it to you again. Desert Vision Quest. Another way you can do this is on Insight Timer. They have some guided imageries that deal with questing. And so you can go on there. Insight Timer's free. You can add it to your phone. I love my Insight Timer. Sound bath, fabulous. Sound is an amazing way to move ourselves into that state of being. So yes, sound bath is beautiful. Doing the guided imageries on some of the Insight Timer things, those are awesome. Again, just going and being in nature and being still and tuning in is a fabulous way of doing this. So have an awesome Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.